Hey hey all, welcome to Monday. Welcome to Countdown Day. And this is a bit of a different one. I'm going to tell you now, this is the sickest I have been in 16 years. But I know it's Countdown Day and I wanted to make sure to give you the results that are promised on the time that I promised them. So bear with me, I'm going to try and do this one as quick as I can. I'll also note that today, November the 11th here in Canada, is Remembrance Day. So I'm going to take just a moment now to also address that and thank all of our veterans that have served and for those who have passed lest we forget. The topic today is going to be the top 10 Transformers characters that we no longer need to have any more updates to. No, we don't need any more versions because perfect versions already exist. You can move on, you can do other characters that have been forgotten, other ones that probably have never gotten an update, because these 10 never ever need to be touched again, according to voters. I'm not going to lie, this is a highly subjective list, but it should be a fun list. That's going to be our focus this time around in the latest GotBot Counts Down. Hey hey all, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, your most humble of hosts, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. As always, please like, comment, share, of course subscribe, and while you're at it, light 'em up, baby. Hit that notification bell, please. It helps me out a ton. It lets you know when content of all sorts goes up here on the channel. Check out Machinery of Man, The Everything Factor, all the groups that I'm either a mod or an admin for, as well as all of my social media links. All of that's in the description down below. Also in the description down below. And if you're in a position to help the channel to grow, sorry, see, I'm sick, I told you. You can use the donate link, you can hit the join button, all the stuff. Yeah, that's where my head's at, right? So this is going to be the top 10 Transformers that no longer need to have any updates according to fan votes. You may notice that my hands are not up in frame today. I actually have rubber gloves on because everything I'm handling here with the extreme help of Starscream Wife, I want to make sure to not spread my germs around. Just so you're in the know, I've been kind of suffering with this since Friday night, and this is now Monday, and I'm only now beginning to see any slight light of day. It's been a rough weekend, man. Been a rough weekend. But nevertheless, we will do the countdown today. We do have Emrat Zeron, and we do have Flame. As for GotBot Goes Live, let's say how I'm feeling later the week. We have honorable mentions. The honorable mentions this time around are Titan Class Scorponok. According to voters, never needs to be done again. I'm not saying that these aren't open for debate, because they certainly are. But this is according to fan votes. Some I agree with, some I don't agree with, some you might agree with and not agree with. But fans voted, and honorable mentions include Scorponok, Hot Rod. Some said the G1, some said the 86, and some said the Titan's Return. And a couple even said, like, some of the third-party offerings. And Omega Supreme. And you know what? All of the Omegas got votes, really. Siege, the Wei Jiang one, DX9's Gabriel, Terminus Giganticus, and like, I get it. Even a couple of people said the G1, and some people said, hey, the Unicron Trilogy version. So we're not going to go through all the molds, but I will touch on the most popular molds. So, Scorponok, Hot Rod, Omega Supreme. They are our honorable mentions. But none of them made the list. You know what we're going to do? We're going to do as we always do. We're going to kick things off with number 10 first. Coming in at number 10, we have a very interesting addition to the list that I never expected would land here, and it's this guy. Punch Counterpunch, yeah. Shown here as just Punch. We all know he's the double agent. Some people said the G1 was an amazing offering. A lot of people voted for the Power of the Primes version, which I agree with. Or Titan's Return, whatever it was. And if you said the MP version or MP scaled version by X-Transbots, yeah, all of them. Pretty great. And a lot of people said, look, you're not going to do better than what those companies have already done. So just leave it be. Move on to other guys. Punch Counterpunch takes the number 10 slot. Coming in at number 9, we have Soundwave, G1 Soundwave, to be specific. And a lot of people voted for MP13 here. A lot of people voted for the Netflix / Legacy United version here. But some people also said, look, the FOC Voyager is perfect for the FOC game, right? So, like, there were a couple of little caveats there. But whether you're talking, pardon me, whether you're talking about an MP scaled or a mainline scale, I think we've kind of reached the apex of Soundwave. Maybe it's time to move on and do some other Soundwaves some justice. G1 Soundwave takes the number 9 slot. Coming in at number 8 is Grimlock. And you know what? Take your pick. Studio Series 86, Power of the Primes, the MP, any of the third-party offerings that are MP scaled. There's a billion versions out there, and you know what? Tons of them had votes. Even if your Grimlock is the comic book version, there's even now the 86 in comic book colors. There's something for every Grimlock taste. You just gotta find it. Grimlock, G1 Grimlock, yeah, takes the number 8 slot. Number 7 was a huge surprise to me. I don't know if I would have voted for this one or even thought of it, but it's this guy, Lugnut. And people kind of split the votes between the original animated and said that thing is fantastic. And I agree, it is. I've reviewed it. And some people said the Reveal the Shield version is superb. And you know what? I agree. It is. I've been an advocate for Lugnut getting an update myself, but maybe he doesn't need it. I don't know. What do you guys think? Either way, the voters think that we already have perfect enough Lugnuts. That doesn't sound right. That he was able to take the number 7 slot. Number 6 takes us to the land of Titans. And this guy. That's right, Metroplex. And a lot of people actually voted for the Generations Metroplex, not because it was an exact approximation of the G1, or even the FOC, for that matter, but because the size and all of the features that it had, you don't get that in Titans anymore. You just don't get it anymore. And people also voted for some of the huge 3D printed ones, the Cyan Culture, I think it is one, and the MMC one, for example. So there are versions out there that all have their strengths and weaknesses. But enough fans feel like among those, there's a perfect one that maybe he doesn't need any more updates. Even Hasbro themselves have said to redo Metroplex, the price would have to really change a lot. There'd have to be a lot of sacrifices, or maybe it would have to be done as like a HasLab type of thing. I don't know. I don't know. The suggestion that was most popular is a re-release of the Generations Metroplex from 2013. I kind of agree with that one, especially since we've gotten a lot of Titans recently re-released. But Metroplex, yes, according to voters, has enough perfect editions of perfect versions that he was able to take the number 6 slot. And now a hush falls over the crowd because we've reached the ever coveted, ever popular halfway mark. And at the halfway mark, we stick with Titans and this guy, Trypticon. And the votes for Trypticon were split very evenly between the Titans Return as well as the, I can't remember what company did it now, that he came in 2 parts and it was the FOC version. Somebody can tell me because honestly I'm just too sick to look it up. You know the one I'm talking about. It's the FOC version that came in 2 separate pieces. Was it MMC? Was it Fans Toys? I don't remember now. But I guess depending on your take, you might be with that. Now, some people have criticized and said the Titans Return had the whole hip issue. Maybe. And maybe it could be redone. But enough fans feel like it doesn't need to be and that it's already perfect as it is, that it was able to take the number 5 slot. And now we're into the top 4. Thank goodness, because I'm already getting tired. And at number 4 we have this. That's right, nothing. A number of voters said, nothing. Nothing's ever perfect. Always bring on new. Now, I get it. I get exactly what you're saying. They love the updates over and over. Maybe they collect a certain character. For me, I'm to the point where I don't want any more Optimus Primes or Starscreams or Soundwaves. I want, you know, Throttlebots and Predators and Omnibots that have never been updated, really. I think that there's a lot out there that we are starting to get now with things like Emrat Zeron and Flame, for example. But man, I'm excited to see what little corners and holes of the fandom they dig into deep next. I'm way more excited about that than I am about more redos and updates. That said, who am I to argue with the voters? If they think that newer is always better, that's their prerogative. And nothing being perfect, always liking the new, that takes the number 4 slot. Coming in at number 3, we have this guy. Yeah, Cyclonus. And while I know there are multiple versions of Cyclonus out there, I'd say a solid 85% of the vote was split between the mainline Kingdom Cyclonus. I get that. The only gripe anybody had with that was the yellowing. And Quietus. I can't remember who makes Quietus. Fans Toys, I think. And there were a couple of votes for other versions, but really it was split between for mainline being the Kingdom, for MP being Quietus. Make of that what you will, but Cyclonus takes the number 3 slot. And now here we are at number 2. And number 2 is this guy. G1 Jetfire, or Skyfire if you prefer. And people said, look, if you are a third-party collector, go with Phoenix. A couple of people said Kronos, but I don't think he was well received. If you are an MP, an official MP collector, go with MP 57. It's great. And if you're a mainline collector, man, you're not going to do any better than the Siege Jetfire. You're just not. Even if you're somebody who is saying to yourself, yeah, but that's not G1. Come on, that's nitpicking. And the best that they would really be able to do would be to slightly reshape a couple of things and keep all the engineering as it is, because the engineering on that thing is absolutely chef's kiss superb. A lot of excellent versions of Jetfire that we finally have to add to our collections, whether you're a mainline collector, whether you are an MP collector. And I even think that there might even be a couple of excellent Legends class versions. Jetfire takes the number 2 slot. And now very tippy top number 1. And number 1 had an easy win, I think. I think most people won't be surprised that it's this guy. That's right, Optimus Prime. G1 Optimus Prime. Though there were a couple of votes for Armada Optimus Prime because of Fans Hobby and the recent Legacy Commander class version. But really G1 Optimus Prime. A lot of people, the vast majority, said Studio Series 86, value for money and perfection. A lot of people said MP44. A lot of people said MP10. A lot of people said Earthrise, to my surprise. A lot of people said the Missing Link. A lot of people said the new Deluxe that gives articulation with that G1 toy look. A lot of people said the original G1. A lot of people said the recent 40th anniversary G1 reissue. I think that there's probably an Optimus for every single taste at this point. What else could they really do with them to offer something more perfect than what we already have? Optimus Prime takes the number 1 slot. And there you go, folks. We've made it through 10 down to 1 once again. A few more that had votes include Dinobot, Fortress Maximus, some for the Titans Return, some for the G1. What else? Whirl, Raiden, the recent Raiden. Jazz, specifically the Reveal the Shield version. Blur. A lot of people voted for the Titans Return version of Blur. A lot of people like Clocker too, which I think was... I don't want to say he was MP scale, but I feel like he was more MP scaled. Optimus Primal, both MP and mainline, and even Red. Beast Wars Jetstorm, Studio Series Fallen. The Movieverse version of Jetfire. Who else had some votes here? Oh, the Sharkticons. Buzzsaw, because of course it's coming out with the Legacy United Soundwave. Studio Series 86 Galvatron, and Sovereign. They had some votes. Sideswipe, specifically, a lot of people said the Siege version, but that alt mode is so far off that for me it would be the Earthrise version, but I guess I get it. Armada Starscream, Perceptor, whether the Titans Return or the 86, or some of the third-party versions, like Tesla, for example, or Tesla 2.0. Wrecker, and who else? Megatron, Turn, Skids. I love that somebody voted for Skids. And, not for nothing, the MP or Kingdom Black Arachnia. Those and so many more had votes. Again, this is one of those lists, very subjective, open to debate, definitely a popularity type of thing. It was more of a fun one than a factual one, for sure. And you know what? Some of your favorites may have landed here. Maybe some of yours didn't. And maybe you are of the mindset that, you know what? You can never have too many repeats. That's your prerogative as well. With all of that said, thank you for coming by, giving me some of your extremely valuable time. I do know how important it is to you. If you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. Check us out on Patreon. See what we have to offer to you through spring. Or, of course, hit the join button at any given time and become a channel member. While you are at it, hit the subscribe button. Stick around, have some fun with us here on the channel. And don't forget, not for a moment, not for a second, that you right there, you do make a difference in the world. And I look forward to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit, either in the live streams on Thursday nights at the stop motion premieres, or the old-fashioned way, inside the videos. I'm gonna go back to bed.